Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Midnight Therapy. This is a surprise episode. This I just had to get out quick. This is going to be a very quick one, I promise you. I know I say that a lot, but this is a quick one. We are ramping up guests on this show, and when we have a guest on, usually there's a specific, you know, guideline of the episode or theme of the episode. So I can't really just rant about anything. We just had Eric on for the Barry Barely episode, so we had to keep it kind of about Barry Barely, but I have some stuff going on in the ADHD brain that I have to get off my chest before we have the next episode with the next guest. So this is just going to be a quick little recap of some current events that went on that I cannot, I cannot move on without at least talking about them a little because they're so weird to me. And I'm going to give you a couple predictions I have, and I want them timestamped so people know I'm actually a fortune teller. I could see the future. Maybe other people could see the future. Maybe we'll touch on that again. We'll get into that. But yeah, fast moving world. If you aren't trying really hard, you're not going to keep up with it. You're going to fall behind. So I had to squeeze this episode in. I guess we'll call it number 16. This is going to be just a little bit of a reaction to some stuff and a little bit of some predictions. And we're going to get right into it here. I cannot keep the charade going that other people are doing, that everything is just normal. This is the craziest time I feel ever of things going on. I feel like we're all desensitized and nothing's shocking anymore. But I think maybe we just need someone like me and others to show it to you again. Let's take another look at it. And maybe you'll say, oh, that really is weird. Maybe that doesn't make sense. Let's get into it. The Olympics. I don't know anyone who's really into the Olympics anymore. They were cool for a while. I don't really pay attention. I know they're every 4 years. But when you hear a story like this, you're like, what's going on? But obviously you heard of the Last Supper rendition that they did at the Olympic opening ceremony. And I tried to look into it a little, and I barely am going to talk about this, but let me just say it back to you so you can say, oh, that is weird. Not weird, but it's atypical. I guess there was a Smurf guy. He looked like a Smurf. He was naked or something, or his genitals were out. I don't know. There was drag queens, and they were doing, there's some different articles coming out, but I guess it was a reenaction or a reenactment of the Last Supper, the painting of Jesus at the Last Supper, Vinci. I don't know. It's a weird way to kick off the Olympics in Paris, France, whatever. Yeah, there was a lot of talk of like genitalia exposed on live TV, and I don't know. Weird. Just wanted to let you guys know that. That's just me easing into how things aren't really making much sense. I'm going to go into some more, I guess, ideas or theories I came up with here. I don't know. We may be at the end of the world. This might be all over soon. I think as you get towards the singularity, things are going to get weirder. Things are going to start ramping up, get odder and odder until they're just crazy, like completely crazy. So here's another weird one I have. JD Vance, Donald Trump's pick for vice president. When that first happened, I had all these people texting me, who is Vance? And I was like, what? I don't even know what you're talking about. They're like, Donald Trump picked his vice president, JD Vance. And I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I was thinking he was going to go with like Nikki Haley or Tulsi Gabbard or Vivek, somebody. Marco Rubio, I heard that going around. But no, JD Vance. And never even heard of the guy. Didn't think anything of it. Thought it was a horrible choice on Trump's part. But I thought it was just another bad choice. You know, that people make bad choices. But now this guy is like making headlines for being a complete kind of weirdo. And it's just not making much sense. Before I go down the crazy conspiracy route, I'm just going to tell you some stuff. His name was changed, I guess, 3 times, they're saying. He changed his name legally 3 times. He has this book he wrote something about a hillbilly. He claims to be this hillbilly, poor guy, but then he went to Ivy League schools. Doesn't really add up. It's not looking good. He's saying these weird comments. It's almost like he's trying to offend as many women as he could. He's saying all these odd comments about cat ladies and who should be able to vote and some people shouldn't be able to vote. It's not. It's just so. It seems so odd, and you want to believe it's an accident, but I just don't believe it's an accident. I don't think anyone is that bad at their job, and I don't think Trump and his people would allow this guy to be that bad at his job as a newly appointed vice president pick. So you got to stop thinking things are accidental. Like I said, everything is on purpose in that world and in the real world and in every aspect of life. Everything's intentional. So you got to think what's up their sleeves and if they're planning 5 steps ahead. And I think they are. I can't imagine they're not. So here's some weirder theories. You go on X or Twitter or whatever, you start seeing like it looks like JD Vance is wearing a mask. I don't know if you've heard this. I'm not going to do that on this show, but please go down that rabbit hole. It's a fun one. Maybe he's not even a real guy. I don't know. I don't know anymore. But I will say there's stuff going around about his book, and especially the first edition of that book where he said I don't know, I have no other way of saying this politely. I guess he had intercourse with his couch, JD Vance. Like, what? What is going on? What is going on? Even if you didn't know that, which Trump definitely didn't read JD Vance's book, I'll tell you that much. But even if you didn't know that, the guy was a huge critic of Trump and said all these terrible things about him. I didn't even know he existed until Trump picked him. The guy he has a look about him. He doesn't look quite real. He doesn't look quite real. I don't know. Like, what's going on? Why? Why him? Very odd. Let's keep moving on. Let's keep the things going so that you agree with me that we're in a simulation. Biden, of course, stepped down. He hasn't really been seen. They put that video out where he gave a speech after he dropped out of the race. It didn't look quite real. Also, he looked a little different. It could have been recorded in the past. Who knows? But there was a video of him walking out. And I'll go on X. I guess X is the land of conspiracies now. There's a video of him walking where he looks significantly taller. It's weird. Very weird. Like there's people that are good at analyzing these things, but if you compare his height in other videos compared to people around him, like his wife, he's like much taller in this video. I don't know. You start going down this wearing a mask rabbit hole, you'll drive yourself nuts. But it just doesn't add up. Nothing's adding up. Everything's getting weird. I don't want to believe any of this. I wish things were just the way they were. I'm telling you this right now. But it doesn't seem like they are. Let's get even weirder. Kamala Harris, I brought this up briefly. She gets the nomination seemingly out of nowhere. Everyone's endorsing her now out of nowhere. They didn't even think. They didn't even say, "All right, let's think of our options here." Just nope, definitely Kamala. That seems fishy to me too, and everybody's just on board with it. So all the people that spent all their time saying Biden is the only man for the job, he's the most competent, all the shareholder, all the investors and the special interests and lobbyists and all of that, they just said, "Oh, okay, next." And they move right on, just like that. Like there was no allegiance to poor old Biden. Seems weird. Seems to reassure the people like me that this is all kind of fake. If it has nothing to do with the candidate at all, and they are just puppets, like I've been saying, and many have been saying for years, I think that's the best proof of it. Out with the old, in with the new. Not even a little time to grieve or be sad that Biden is dropping out. Already moving on. It's like Woody and Buzz. Buzz is in town now, and Woody's forgotten. Very weird. Remember that? Strange Things Are Happening song from Toy Story? That's kind of how it feels. Not to mention the whole world is watching, and they know that the president is 82 and not fit to run anymore, and was kind of forced out by his own party and made to drop out. He was forced to drop out, and now he's in control for the next 4 months. I don't think they're not thinking of that. They know that. They know that all too well. And now the weirdest one of then I'm talking. This is all over like 3 days. All the stuff I'm talking about, that's why I had to do this podcast. It happened in like the past, I don't know, 5 days, all this. Trump's ear. Let's talk about Trump's ear. It's perfectly fine. There was a picture that got leaked when Netanyahu went to Mar-a-Lago. Imagine that sentence. The the ruler of Israel, or the leader, whatever they call him, visited Trump at his private home. He's not even president. I guess they're calling him, that's his friend? Friends can't visit friends? I don't know. That seems weird. Does that not seem weird? I don't know. What's going on? But regardless of that, stop thinking practically. Think conspiratorially with me for a minute. Why is his ear fine? He got shot in the ear. There was blood. And the ear is perfect. There's nothing wrong with the ear. There's no visible wound. There's no damage. It's not deformed in any way. Can someone just explain it to me? Someone definitely, there was definitely a shooter. We know that. Someone died. People got shot. The guy's dead. The guy behind him, the guy died. Supposedly Trump got shot. There was theory that maybe he didn't. Maybe it was the teleprompter glass. But either way, if he got cut by glass, there'd still be a cut or something, right? That created the blood. How is there no cut? Not even a little cut. Someone's lying. Something's up here. Something's very fishy. The Secret Service, the head of the Secret Service, who I found out recently has been in that for so long, a very well-known person in the Secret Service, she was, stepped down over this because I think it was a blatant lie that there was no one on that roof because it was sloped. I think we know that was a lie. I think the whole thing was fishy. But now Trump's ear, not even damaged. Look up Evander Holyfield's ear after Mike Tyson bit it. There's damage, permanent damage. You can still see where it's messed up. That was a bite, not a bullet. I was expecting to see a deformed ear. I thought that'd be like a new version of Trump, like an action figure, like the deformed ear Trump. But no, his ear's fine. Now, how far are we going to go down this rabbit hole? Is there a body double for Joe Biden that's taller? Maybe. Is Trump, what's going on with Trump? Does he have a fake ear? Did he even get shot? Who knows what's going on here? What's up with JD Vance? Is he a real guy? Is he someone else in a mask? I don't know. But this is all not adding up. Not adding up. I think they're just they think we're all very dumb. The leaders of this country, those in charge, I think they think we're dumb, and they're getting lazy with their lies. I think they don't even try to lie good anymore. I think they just come up with, oh, well, the roof was sloped, or, yeah, he got shot in the ear, but it healed up magically overnight. He's fine. He put that bandage on. That bandage, that square pillow he had on the side of his head, healed him perfectly overnight. That's why there's no damage. Okay, moving on. I'm like, what? Yeah, presidents drop out of the race all the time and give it to their VP with no questions asked. No one voted for Kamala. Everybody voted for Joe, and no one cares. Kamala's in now. Don't worry. No more questions. Okay. I think they're getting lazier with their lies, and we're getting dumber for just believing them. We just believe everything they say, and we move on. We go, oh, what's the next TikTok video? Nice. Octua. We don't question anything. We're afraid to be deemed conspiracy theorists, or we just simply don't care. I think that's the big one. It's usually that people just don't care. Nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares about anything except me. I'm going to make you care. Here's my predictions. That was just my recap there. Here's the predictions. I think you might hear this here first. I might be the first one to bring this one up. I think Trump's plan is to replace Vance at the last minute. I think Vance is like a patsy. I think he was there to be the fall guy. I think they picked him with an agreement of money where we're going to throw you completely under the bus. And he was okay with it because what else is he going to do? He's never going to win. He's never going to be the president. And they know that. And they never wanted him to be the president, but they knew he would agree to this deal because he was a little sleazy. He was kind of a sleazy guy on the right. They exist in all forms, in all places. But this guy was sleazy. Not a fan of Trump, but they offered him the right money, and he was willing to do it for his family and for himself. So Vance, maybe he'll get another book deal out of it, where he can reveal more weird secrets. But Vance agreed Vance is going to go up there for the next 2 months or so and say all the dumbest things you could imagine about women. He's gonna degrade people. He's gonna talk about Project 2025, which everyone's talking about that. That's the nice boogeyman now, Project 2025. Trump said he has nothing to do with it, but Vance is talking about it. Like, oh, he likes it. Like, what's up with that? Vance is like an older, outdated kind of Republican that nobody really wants, like what the party used to be. He's a little not with the times, so he's the perfect guy to anger the essential voters you would need to win if you're Trump, which is like women and people in the middle, the moderates. And of course, he's going up there and word vomiting everything he could, saying certain women shouldn't vote and the cat ladies are voting for Kamala. Like, it seems too planned to me. Like, I just know people aren't that dumb. And I know Trump's not that dumb to pick somebody that's going to hurt his campaign unless they are going at this with like Hollywood script writing level intelligence, where they're thinking of the double cross and all these random turns and surprises ahead of time. And I think they are. Now, Kamala has a lot of momentum right now because she just replaced Joe, which I said in a previous episode, the anybody but argument, anybody but Joe will beat Trump, anybody but Trump would beat Joe. Um, and now you're seeing it happen. This is a younger person. And is she a great candidate? No, but she's younger than Joe and more competent, and there's more buzz. And she's a woman and a woman of color, which everyone pays attention to these intersections of reality because they are told that those are important factors. So it's exciting. It's like new and exciting. And it's not Joe, who's old and almost near the end, maybe. I don't know. So she's got all that momentum. Trump knows he's going to need that momentum, and he doesn't want to do it quick. This is like a boxing match. You don't go out crazy until it's the last round. And in the final round, Trump's big surprise that's going to be comparable to Kamala replacing Biden is going to be somebody else replacing the bigot JD Vance. So Trump's going to go let him have fun in the playground, say all the crap he wants that, seemingly right now is going to hurt Trump's campaign, but it's not. Because Trump will be replacing Vance probably with a woman, in my opinion, whether it be Nikki Haley or Tulsi Gabbard, or if it's not a woman, Vivek or Swami. Something's going to happen. Big excitement about a month before the election is my prediction. Timestamp it. That's what I think is going to happen. That's going to build a lot of momentum for Trump's campaign at the end. Kamala, for example, what's going to happen to her? Do I think the left is thinking of these schemes too? And yeah, they are. So if Trump does something like that, there's going to be like a fake agent provocateur attack on Kamala, I predict. And they'll have the guy wearing a big Trump hat, big MAGA hat. It'll be like a big redneck. He'll have a manifesto saying he hates women and MAGA for life. And they'll plan that'll be some FBI actor doing that. And that's going to build up a ton. It's not going to like harm Kamala. She's going to survive, obviously, but it'll be so much momentum for her, and it'll make people hate the moderates, hate the Trump and his party and the Republicans, and that'll be good for them. I think that's what this is. It's Hollywood now. I don't think there's any normal elections. This will probably be the last one, but it's going to be a big one. This is going to be the go out with a bang election. Trump's not backing down. Kamala's not backing down, and they're both puppets to a degree. The ideology behind them is what's controlling all this. So those are my little predictions there, but nothing seems to be adding up. And I hope you all understand that and are at least willing to acknowledge that. Is Trump a time traveler? I brought that up in the last episode. I'm not going to get into it again, but it seems like he kind of is. If we're gonna have a little comedic relief here, how does the guy? I don't know. Like his ear is fine now. What? Does he have mystical powers or something? Like, I don't know. Like, look at the John Trump stuff with the Tesla files. I don't know. Maybe there were some secrets in there that the Trump family has. But I don't know who gets shot at and moments after puts their hand up, makes the most iconic photo of all time. And then like a week or two later, the guy's ear is fine. Just took a giant AR round to it that experts say should have deafened him and totally mutilated the ear. Now he's fine. Things are weird. Things are weird. And it seems like it's all simulation. This is all fake. And it gets weirder and weirder. Papa Smurf at the Olympics with his testicles out. JD Vance having, I don't know, intercourse with a couch. Biden being 4 inches taller, 5 inches taller than he was, Trump's ear being fine after being shot, Kamala Harris seamlessly taking over for Biden, no backlash, no other options even presented to the American people. Things are getting weirder, and I had to talk about them just a little for you. Keep these in mind. Document those predictions just in case they come true. Then I will get my card carrying license to be a fortune teller officially. That's going to be it for this episode, though. I think that's about everything. We're coming back with a couple guests. I have a very special guest coming up this week. That's why I wanted to get some of this current event stuff out of the way before we have the guest on and we focus on that specific theme of the episode, which I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but you're going to love it. Very, we cover everything on this show. It's going to be all over the spectrum of things we're going to talk about. So the next episode is going to be quite shocking and interesting. I know it'll probably target a different audience than usual, than my conspiracy people out there, and politics in Egypt and all that. Going to be a different crowd, hopefully. But yeah, I want you to just stay curious, as I always say. Look into things, please. Look into this. Look how weird things are. Things just aren't adding up, but it's okay they're not adding up. You have to acknowledge that they're not adding up. You can't just go, oh, it's nothing. It's something. Trump's ear being fine is weird. JD Vance is weird. You know it. You know it. I want you to just at least say it. At least think it. Bring it up at dinner. Spoil everyone's dinner. If your mom makes tuna casserole, say, what's up with JD Vance? He looks like he's wearing a mask. And he had sex with a couch. She'll go, Michael, that's enough. And then you'll go, Biden's fake. He's dead, and he's not even. That's a body double. He's wearing a mask, and then have your mom kick you out of dinner, and go to your room. Worth a shot. It's better than being, I don't know, better than believing everything you see. Look, stand for something or fall for anything. All right. Think about what I said. We'll be back this week with another episode, and as always, stay curious, my friends. Good night.